doing analysis of the phenomenon of superhero obsession that is going on right now. That's why I'm wearing my ninja shirt, because I did want to be a ninja as a kid, and there's still plenty of time available. I think the fact that I've got a very loud voice doesn't lend itself to being a ninja, but we're going to go through the top 10 superhero films. First up, we have the number one, the big boy, The Avengers. Who are the Avengers? Number one is Iron Man, a genius billionaire playboy by the name of Tony Stark, who lives at the top of Hollywood, strange, and is a likeable arsehole who made all his money off selling weapons. Every major female in his stories finds him attractive, even though he is an asshole. He gets this amazing suit that can fly and whatever. Oh, he's also incredibly fit and has no body hair. Moving on to number two, let's go to Thor. Thor is a god, played by Chris Hemsworth, and he looks like a guy who possibly had to bulk up 10 kilos and work out twice a day. Has no body hair. Most females also are attracted to him. As a result of being born into royalty, he doesn't really have to worry about normal jobs like you and I, or worry about having long hair and a man tail. Hulk is the alter ego monster, Dr. Bruce Banner, who is also a genius scientist. A reluctant freak, goes into incredible rages, becomes bigger than any bodybuilder you've ever seen, likes his purple shorts, but still has quite a good sense of humour and no body hair. Captain America was a fine arts student called Steve Rogers, who decided, I can't be a fine arts student, so I'm going to become a soldier. But I'm puny. So what happens to a puny guy? You're not good enough to be a soldier, puny guy. You got to become buff and massive. So let's give you some to the point of human capacity so that you're now not hairy and built like a bodybuilder. Portrayed by Chris Evans in these films, every major female in Captain America, in both the comic book and the films, is attracted to him. It's not bad, really. Take the gear, you will get the ladies. He can also throw his shield like a boomerang and kill like 10 people. I think that's a little bit beyond the capacity of most humans. In regards to like Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner play like Black Widow and that lame dude. They're lame because they're just humans. They're not actually superheroes. The Dark Knight. Story of Batman, who is Bruce Wayne, portrayed by Christian Bale. Another billionaire playboy who is trying to atone for the death of his parents. And as a result, he's insecure and emotionally frail. But still has plenty of time to bulk himself up, become an awesome martial artist off in the middle of somewhere. Has the best car, the best motorcycle, the best house in town, and he's also got the best man cave. He actually gets rejected by his first love interest, who actually goes for the lawyer. This happens in reality quite a lot. Harvey Dent, who ends up being a bad guy. I don't know what that says about lawyers. He becomes Two-Face. The Joker is a freak. Doesn't really care much for money, but he can acquire money and power just like this. He's got amazing skills of self-defense.
To make this pencil disappear.
He's generally just a terrorist, but actually quite funny. Spider-Man is number 3, starring Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. He is the socially awkward yet academically gifted Peter Parker. He's in love with this girl who is dating the richest guy in school, played by James Franco. Imagine if James Franco was the richest guy in school. That'd be a pain. He gained spider-like abilities after being bitten by a genetically enhanced spider, taking on these abilities so he can throw web and stuff around, gets all agile, gets very buff as well, but strangely doesn't get hairy. The villain is Norman Osborn, another billionaire. Oh, strange, he popped up in a superhero film. Who becomes the Green Goblin. Well, he gets to fly around on some hoverboard kind of thingy and becomes amoral and insane after taking a performance-enhancing drug. Number 4 film is Spider-Man 2. Things go a bit strange. His girl gets engaged to an astronaut. He's still a brilliant physics student at Columbia University. Gets his powers back. He decides to persuade Dr. Octo to kill himself. He gets the hot female back from Jack the Astronaut, or whatever his name is. Number 5 is Dark Knight Rises. Sees Batman dealing with his ailing billionaire business is starting to go down the drain, plus also the death of his love interest Rachel, who didn't really love him anyway. Bad guy is Bane, played by Tom Hardy. Again, a massively muscled up guy who wears a strange mask, looks a bit S&M, who beats up Batman at the start and then imprisons him in some sort of Middle Eastern jail under the ground. Batman somehow escapes again and recovers from a spinal injury, strangely on a diet presumably of rats and boiled tripe, I can imagine. Batman comes back. He gets stabbed in the back by a girl who you think's probably going to be interested into him. Razia Al Ghul or whatever, you know, like Liam Neeson's daughter thingy. Others to save the day with his Batman plane thingy and whatever. That's Dark Knight Rises, pretty much. Number 6 to number 9 are just sequels of the previous films. Nothing really too new there. Number 10 is Deadpool. It's different to any other superhero film. Deadpool is Wade Wilson, who is a former commando special forces soldier. Finds out he's got cancer, so he takes some drug, becomes a freak, and looks like, you know, Freddy Krueger's Spawn, and gets all insecure about it and doesn't want to see his ex-girlfriend. But now he's immortal. He's got amazing abilities. He's buff. He doesn't have any hair even before he gets burnt. He has an incredibly hot woman who's played by Morena Baccarin, who is off Homeland. Deadpool is strictly just a human who's, again, just being the beneficiary of performance-enhancing drugs. Common theme. Just like the nemesis in the film Ajax, enhanced by drugs, so that he can't feel pain. His escort stripper girlfriend is not a superhero, but she's just kind of hot, and it's worth mentioning that. Deadpool is sexually suggestive to everyone in the film, including most of the walls, the fourth wall especially, generally self-deprecating as well, which is kind of refreshing to see. He leaves us with no doubt that it is actually just fantasy. The other heroes in Deadpool, Colossus, who is just a Russian man made of metal who's about the size of your house. The girl is called Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Trying to say that one 10 times quickly. Can blow crap up. She's pretty angry. In summary, superhero films are everywhere now, and they are big business. We're talking some of the record films ever made. Generally, they're white guys who are billionaires or genius scientists who are also buff and hairless. Superheroes are typically artificially enhanced by drugs or technology who can get either all the babes or the hottest babe. Most of the superheroes have the best cars. Mansions, motorcycles, planes, whatever. They have it. That's what you want. You want that stuff. It's good stuff. What do? They use violence to get all their results. It doesn't matter how many people, how many scores of people they kill in one scene, they don't really have a reaction to it. Deadpool makes fun of this. Emotionally, they tend to be quite calm about the fact that they're so violent. Even the ones who are PhD holders or genius scientists still don't really have moral dilemma about the amount of people they kill. But they don't actually use their genius to solve a lot of the problems, but it's just brute force. You know, must make for better action scenes than watching a guy sit down working out a PhD on paper. Some of the recent superhero films are showing a little bit more emotional frailty. Deadpool is the only real exception to the role being set by these superhero films, in that he's very self-deprecating and clearly showing that this violence and this character is living in a fantasy world, and as such, shouldn't be taken too seriously. That is it from the aspiring ninja here. Stuart, so I've got a hole in this armpit. I think one of these has a hole in it. Please suggest me anything if you want me to have a look at it, to see what are we saying to men out there today. Bye-bye.